with the GoCurrency.com sports ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. Earlier today, Nebraska football made their coordinators available to the media. Here's Bill Busch on the task of facing the vaunted Michigan running game this weekend.
That's a lot, Sipple. That's a lot of yards, man. 418 yards. That's a, yeah. And especially, you know, the part that was disturbing about it was that the talent level that was on the other side of the ball. You know, that Penn State's extremely talented football team. They're not missing out on their players. And so they, like I said, I thought their scheme that Coach Harbaugh had was really good for them. They had some multiplicity in different ways that they changed gaps and had pullers and different things for us right there. So they have a lot of zone game where last week was all zone against us right there. These guys have all that. Then they have a lot of gap schemes. They're going to have counters. They have powers. They have a lot of, so gaps change and things move. So sometimes when you're in pressures or different things, you know, it's kind of like, a lot of times it's like one school band's playing, it's not sure which one's going to be, and like that. So sometimes things hit really well, and sometimes then hits really bad. And so those are the scenarios you're trying to avoid in defending these guys. So there's been some teams that have done some, you know, have hung in there with them on some things, but again, our strain on the run fits is very well thought out, and it's something obviously that we strain to learn every day in practice.
We'll hear from both coordinators later in the hour. In other Huskers news, today is National Signing Day, and Huskers programs fared well across the board. Nebraska volleyball landed the top-rated recruiting class in the nation, adding 5 new players for 2023, including the number 2 ranked recruit outside hitter Harper Murray, number 4 ranked recruit setter Bergen Riley, number 5 ranked recruit libero Laney Choboy, number 7 recruit outside hitter Caroline Juravicius, and number 13 ranked recruit middle blocker Andy Jackson. Nebraska women's basketball added 2 lauded recruits in the 2-time North Dakota Gatorade Player of the Year Logan Nisley, and a guard in a Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year as well in that recruiting class. Nebraska softball added 5 recruits: Samantha Bland, Emerson Cope, Elisa Golfin, Caitlin Olensky, and Mila Toms as part of their recruiting class. You can check out the full list of new recruits across multiple Huskers programs on Huskers.com. In pro sports, in the NBA today, the Brooklyn Nets dropped the interim label and named Jack Vaughn as their new head coach. In the NFL, 2 quarterback injury notes. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills did not practice today as he attempts to manage a UCL injury to his throwing elbow, and Matthew Stafford was placed in concussion protocol by the Rams. And in the MLB, fresh off his first World Series championship at age 73, Astros manager Dusty Baker announced he will be back with the Astros for another season on a 1-year contract. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on Hub.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Lobs it way out top. Kendall Coley at the buzzer for 3. Get in there, you! Gotcha! And hung on the rim. It had some suspense, but it was good for a triple.
They fake the handoff. Chuba keeps it himself. Touchdown, Nebraska. What a drive for the Huskers.
Rebound into the hands of Nebraska down the floor. C.J. Wilcher's got the ball. Pull up, Jay. Got it. 8-0 Nebraska.
Sends it back middle. Bad pass. Bump set to the left. Lesiak stuffed. Back Alec. Biggest block in 2022.
Comes to the right side. Draws a double. Out to Tominaga. Square shoots the 3. Got it. Another CBA three-pointer. Tominaga with 13 first-half points.
Throws to the deep left side. Manny Kroll standing alone for 3. You betcha! That's 100! That's the century mark! Every Husker has hit a 3, and Manny Kroll has hit 4 of them.
Back to throw is Morgan. Backpedaling, rolling to the right, stepping up, gets hit, brought down. It's a sack. Sacked by Caleb Tanner.
Now Nebraska's got it set left. Krause bangs it. Kaboom! Ho, ho. Putting a dent in the Northwestern.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We are here. It's a hump day edition of Sports Nightly. So glad you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with us here tonight. We've got a good show for you. We're going to be hearing some quotes from the 2 coordinators, Bill Busch and Mark Whipple. They met with the media earlier today as the Huskers prepare for the game with Michigan on Wednesday. And then it's our Husker football show. It's up a night this week because tomorrow night we have Husker basketball as they take on the Omaha Mavericks tomorrow night at PBA. So we moved the football show up a night. And because of that, we're going to talk to two coaches, two new names for everybody. Mike Cassano, who took over the wide receivers room, and Mickey Joseph got elevated to the interim head coaching position, and Joey Connors, who is doing a really good job with special teams. He inherited that position when Bill Bush became the defensive coordinator. So we're going to hear from both of those gentlemen in hour number 2 tonight. Looking forward to those conversations. Today, Jessica, was signing day for really everything except football.
Yes.
Was today.
It's a wild day for people that are running the social media and all of that.
Yes.
I saw Nick on the way out, Nick Burkhart, who runs all of the digital and social, and he said, oh, it was a crazy day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of signings happen. It's a big day for all the sports and basketball and Olympic sports. This is the day. So, yeah, it's always fun when you see the next generation of Huskers start to roll
an
in.
exciting day for all of the youngsters who are signing, too. I mean, it's a great moment in their life. It's a huge life-changing decision you make where you hopefully are going to spend the next 4 to 5 years.
I like it, too, because, it used to all be on February 5th, right? Remember back in the day where everybody, all sports, everybody signed on February 5th.
That's wild, though.
And what?
That was a while ago they did that.
Well, it was like...
At least 20 years ago.
It was not.
Basketball's had the early period for quite a while.
It was not that long.
I'm gonna Google
you can look
that.
it up. It was like 10 years ago.
I'm going to Google.
But either way, I think it's awesome that, that the sports have their day because it's such a big deal for football, right? And all of the spotlight gets put on the football athletes. But if on a day where it is all about the other student athletes, I think it's awesome that they have their own separate day that they can sign and you get them locked in. And I think it also helps too when you talk about a guy like Denham Dawson, right, who got to sign and then come here in January. And so it helps in that regard too. You get those guys locked in November and then you go play your season, right?
I think Kendall Colley did the same thing. For the women's basketball team. She came in January after signing in November. I'm not a huge fan of that. I hope kids can just enjoy their high school days, but I get it, and I understand you're kind of ready for that next chapter. But let's start with women's basketball. Tim kind of ran down through some of the names, but they get 2 state players of the year, Amy Williams did, one from Missouri and one from North Dakota. And remember, Callan Hake is also from North Dakota that they signed a year ago. So they're kind of finding a little bit of a pipeline up there to get a state player.
Well, and Callan Hake was, I believe, the state player of the year.
I believe she was.
And so is, right, Alexis Markowski. So, hey, let's just get all the state players of the year. Right? And sign them on to play for the Huskers. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of excitement. And, also teams, a lot of these young guards see what Amy Williams does with putting a lot of guards on the floor and kind of letting them spread the floor and shoot. And everybody does a little bit of everything. And so, yeah, I think if you are that type of player, this is the place that you want to sign on to. And I think those are a couple of those types of players.
Good additions to the team. And then Fred Hoiberg announced the signing of Eli Rice. That's the only addition. He's got a 6'7" guard. So a little bit in the mode of
Sam Breezel. Maybe he kind of likes having the 6'7" point guard.
Right. I mean, that's kind of the same thing. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw 6'7" guard. I'm like, okay, that's Sam all over again.
But, we've already seen in the 2 exhibition games and then on Monday night that's a huge matchup problem, right? And there's been times where Sam they put a guard on him. Well, he takes it right to the rim or goes and he clears out the floor. He sees that mismatch problem. All right, if you're going to put a taller guy on him, then that again it causes such problems. So I think we're going to continue to see that, but you can see why it is something that this coaching staff likes and wants to take advantage of because we've already seen in 3 games the mismatch problems that causes.
So you may be replacing a 6'7" guard with Rice next year. So that was the only addition, and that's all that's really expected out of both programs. The period lasts a week, but for the most part, you launch it, you put it out right out of the gate, and then I think for both Amy and Fred, that's probably it for their class. And also, as Tim mentioned, wow, what a class for John Cook. I mean, this thing is just unbelievable. The nation's #1 class, the #2 overall player, the #4 overall player, the #5 overall player, the #7 overall player, and the #13 overall player in the country.
You don't rebuild, you reload.
Holy moly. And he's not here tonight, but that's Duke basketball stuff right there, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, that's what they do.
I'm glad he's not here to hear me say that. I'm kind of embarrassed now that I said that.
Yeah, that's you should never
Tim,
do
not tell Andrew that I brought that up tonight on the program, but Coach Cook rolling right along. And he couldn't talk about him last night because it was the night before. He had to wait. So I'm sure the next radio show, John will be able to talk about this class. And huge props to Jalen Reyes, Jessica, because he's kind of the prime recruiter for the staff. He's the one who really goes and makes a lot of the visits. Not that Coach Cook doesn't do that. He's the closer, and you got to have a good closer. But Jalen does a lot of legwork for the program.
And you can, when you meet him, it's kind of like the Mickey Joseph effect, too. When you meet those kinds of guys who are really good recruiters, you understand it when you meet them and talk to them, right? It's the relationships, it's the ability to connect with people, and that translates to when they're recruiting. It's genuine, and that's Jalen Reyes is a lot in that regard, like Mickey Joseph, in the way that he can build connections and make those relationships. And then that's what these young players, that's what they're looking for. They want to go where they can trust the coach that they're playing for and know that they're going to have their best interest at heart. And so that's why they are so successful in the recruiting trail.
Ronnie Ravel signed 5 players. Husker soccer got 3. No announcement from baseball. I think they're still collecting signatures, and they're generally a little slow putting out their class, so nothing out of Will Bolt's program today. But exciting day, a fun day. And again, you have an entire week, so you don't have to do it all one day, but for the most part.
It's also different, too, with baseball because they have transfers and JUCO and all of that, and it's just you never know with the draft, and it's more later developing, I feel like. And look how many players were added right after the season, you know? So it's different. And then also, and going back and you look at kind of the different programs and their needs. Amy Williams' program, they're not losing many. I mean, Sam Hyvee is about the only one. And so they don't need a lot of bodies. And then, with men's basketball, they're going to probably hit the portal. Because they're going to be losing Sam Griesel, Emmanuel Bandamel, those 2 guys you're going to want some experience, right? You want to get older. So it just depends on what the need is for a certain program, but seems like most of them got what they were looking for in signing this class.
Good day. If you want all the more information, Huskers.com will have all of that laid out for you. You can go and read up the bios of all the players who inked with the Huskers today in the various sports. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Huskers again preparing for Michigan on Saturday, a trip to the Big House. We're down to 3 games left in this season. Then we'll be back home for the final home game next Saturday. We don't have a game time yet for the Wisconsin game. Should learn that Saturday night, Sunday morning. In fact, that may pop again during Big Red Reaction Saturday night. We might get the game time for the Wisconsin game, but it will either be at 11 or 2:30. It will not be a night game. So
how many times do they get to do that?
I thought it was twice, but this is the 3rd week in a row, so it must be 3. Must be 3.
I'm like, I could have sworn it was 2 too, but it's been the last 3 weeks.
Now that they're paying more money, it's probably whenever they want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Well, and then you think about that too when you add all the different networks too.
Yeah.
Because then you got to figure out, okay, where are you going, what time? There's a lot more options, so it might be even more of a problem once you add all that to the equation.
Could be. All right, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to fire off a text to us here tonight on the program. We got a practice report, and because it's our last show of the week, we need to do picks tonight. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Tim's, I know ready.
It's weird. It doesn't feel like picks day, but I think I'll get ready for it.
Got to get it in there because we don't have it. Tomorrow night's basketball. Friday night, it's a combination of volleyball, women's hoops. So this is our last show for the week, so last chance for you to get at us. So for the folks in our YouTube chat room, get your picks into crypto. He's got to collect all those and get them all ready to roll for you.
I think he got them yesterday.
He's got most of them?
And he was demanding to have them yesterday.
Shuffling them into him?
Yeah, right after I handed them out, I think he was asking for them.
Those guys, they're all over it in that chat room. Hey, our Sports Audio Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. We're back with a practice report coming up next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
One of the best Thanksgiving traditions is football, and this year one of the best ways to celebrate that tradition is to hit the road with the Huskers and AAA. This year's annual Black Friday game will be played in Iowa City, And AAA is giving Huskers fans a chance to win a road trip package, including 2 game tickets, a gas card, and hotel accommodations. Enter now for a chance to win at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Again, that's huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
It's harvest special time, and you can save $3 per foot or $3,900 per quarter-mile system now on a T&L pivot system. Pivots worked long hours this season battling dry weather to save top-dollar corn and soybean crops. But did your pivots work like no other? If not, it's time to invest in a reliable, safe, low-maintenance T&L irrigation system. Hydrostatic drives move these durable workhorses continuously across fields. So get an irrigation system that works as hard as you do. Contact T&L Irrigation, your local T&L dealer, or visit us online at TLIRR.com. T&L Irrigation Systems like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Sides, left side, Laziak rolls, shots it, and there's Kubik with the up. Set to the back row, Kinsey Knuckles, it's in! Kinsey Knuckles with a huge kill! Kinsey wants those swings, she finally got one when it counted, and she made it pay as the Big Reds up 16-13 here in the fourth.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, Nebraska volleyball plays host to the Iowa Hawkeyes. John Baylor and Lauren Cook West are live at 5:30 p.m. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here. It's a Wednesday night, Sports Hunting, our last show of the week. I know it saddens you all.
And we only had our first show of the week was yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a quick. And next week's kind of the same thing. It's a very, very skinny week next week as well. But time for us to slip in a GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. It was coordinator day. Both Mark Whipple, Bill Bush met with the media today, and let's get into it right away. What's the latest on Casey Thompson? Here is Mark Whipple.
Yeah, Casey's gotten better, a lot better, and then Logan and Chubb have I see a little more confidence in those guys from playing last week, just handling things better, so that's promising.
Still doesn't seem like Casey's throwing the ball, really. He's just kind of out there and walking around. And
yeah, I mean, again, I don't think they'll rush it, especially because, I mean, just with his history, too, he played all last year hurt, and then it kind of set him back, and so there's no need to try to, derail his future and make it worse than it actually is. And I said this, I thought both Chubba and Logan looked better last week than they did the week before. And so I think just having another week of running with the ones, of being the guy, of preparing your mind like you are going to play, you are going to be that guy that they call upon, then it's got to bode well for them.
Let's follow that up then. What about what's been the message to those two guys from Mark Whipple since Saturday's game? Because there's a pretty strong likelihood that they're going to have to be the guys this week against Michigan.
It's a marriage. I don't hug my wife all the time, and I don't hug those guys all the time. So, but sometimes you got to get a message across, and they've been really good. They've been really good. We have a good room, and those guys have been a lot of fun to be around. I've seen them grow, and I've seen them take steps forward. So, this is the biggest step of their career, and going into Michigan's not an easy task. I haven't been there, but I've been enough other places. So, they're all that they, what's written about them is all. You just got to watch the tape. So that obviously this kind of game, you probably don't have to. You hope that you don't have to try to motivate somebody as much. You put the tape on, you watch their numbers, you look at how they play, and they're fast and they're physical, and they have a solid scheme they believe in and playing with a lot of confidence. So we got to far and away put our best game together on offense. And probably disappointing thing last week was the drop balls in crucial situations that cost us points. And if we do that, we won't have a chance. But if we execute and operate at a good level, then we'll have a chance to see where this thing goes.
I mean, two things that I took away there. The drop balls, I mean, I had done a report on that. That was probably Mickey Joseph is one. He will get after players, and we've said that since he got here. He will get after them. He'll get on them hard, and he loves them hard. But the maddest he was on Saturday was at the wide receivers for the drop balls. And every week it's different, but that was the most angry I saw him on Saturday was at those wide receivers because they were critical drop balls, right? But then I also wanted to make note of the quarterback room. I talked about this a little bit last night, but I thought it was really neat to see the three of them, and even Harburg and Matt Masker all as a group trying to figure out what to do for the quarterbacks, because whether it was Logan or Chubba, Casey was coaching them up, and hey, this is what I see here, and hey, look here, and when you go under center, your eyes go here, and then Chubba and Logan both were talking about what they were seeing out there. So I thought just the group as a whole, the room, when you hear him say that quarterback room, it is a tight-knit group, and I thought they all were trying to come together to try to figure things out on Saturday.
I remember 3 drops. Travis kind of in the back of the end zone dealing with that. Thought he maybe could have grabbed that. We had to settle for 3 points. Oliver Martin dropped one on a third down play that would have kept the drive at least going and give the defense a little bit of a rest. And in the end of the game, I think Trey Palmer would probably say, I need to make that catch down the middle of the field.
And that was the 3 drops. Mickey said 3 drops. So there was another one in there before that. So that was probably 4 that were big-time drops. Because when he had come over to talk to the wide receivers that I was talking about, he said there's been 3 drops. And you know he knows that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was his group. And so, there must have been one more, and then you add on the one that would have kept the game going with Trey Palmer, which you expect him to make that play.
Right, you do.
And he was distraught. He was devastated.
Oh,
he knew he needed to make that play, too.
Yeah. Would have got interesting, I think, if he makes that grab.
Yeah.
That's down around the 30-yard line. Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig always. Call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Let's switch to defense now. Bill Bush, kind of with an opening statement to the media earlier today.
Hey, guys, thanks for coming. Really sharp practice today. You know, we got a bunch of guys that don't flinch, which is just a testament to their character and how they handle things. So it's impressive how they go about their business. And 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, we play a college football game, and we got a bunch of guys who love to play college football. And we'll have 11 guys on the field ready to go. And I said a very disciplined group of guys that handle things very well. They love to play football. We love coaching them, and couldn't be more proud, as I've said in the past, of how they're handling some things. There's always things you always want to improve on and get better and wish things are different in the game. But when you get guys that give this type of effort, very, very happy with it. So happy with where we're at. Got a lot of work to do. Obviously, we're playing a fantastic football team. I think number 3 in the country. And deservedly so. Look, these would be a 1 in the country. So I have a lot of respect for their head coach and how he has built his team and how they handle things and how his offensive coordinator calls the game and has built his team. So a lot of work ahead.
Hey, Greg, thanks for coming today.
Glad to be here. Isn't he great? Isn't he great?
He's so great. You can understand why guys want to run through a brick wall for him. But, yeah, he's like thanking people for coming to do their job. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah. And the media needs a little love every now and then, don't they? Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the Husker quarterback situation. How about Michigan? Man, it is really grabbing a hold of that. It's J.J. McCarthy, who was splitting time with McNamara a year ago. McNamara's now hurt. In fact, I believe he had surgery today. He's out for the year. But J.J. McCarthy has done a really good job. Here's Bill Bush talking about McCarthy.
Really not a lot different at all, Sean, but what I've noticed about him is that obviously he's calmed down a lot. It seems that last year he came in kind of as a running quarterback. Here he has full command of the offense to do everything. Throws the ball really well. He's got, he can really zip it. He moves out of the pocket. One of the things that probably stresses me the most about him, besides just him when he throws the ball, is that his escapability. So he has so many plays off of somebody does a decent job covering, pass rush, finds a crease, takes off. And it's over and over. He probably has 2 or 3 a game on 3rd down, 1st downs, or big plays on 2nd down, and he takes off running. So that's a big concern because he has that. He can go really fast right now. So those extra yards, but they all count. Sometimes it's 3rd down, they rush, and he scrambles. Everybody's like, oh, no. It's like, no, they count. So you have to defend everything. You got to be able to defend the pass against him on 3rd down, then his ability to run also. And the quarterback run game that's designed the quarterback run is always difficult, but you have a better chance when he just finds a crease and goes. So a lot of concerns with him right there, but obviously he's grown up a lot.
It almost doesn't even matter what the quarterback does as good as the lines are,
as good as Corum is the back.
Yeah, I mean, it is like those up front, defensively and offensively, and that's kind of why I think they've gotten the argument, because look what happened to Ohio State last week with the wind gust, right?
They couldn't adjust.
Because that's what they do. They throw the football, but Michigan is built to just, out physical you and up front on those lines. They're as good as anybody in the country.
Here's Bill Bush talking about the scheme and how do you plan and game plan for this Michigan offense.
There's a little bit of both to it, but you want to always attack everyone. If you do something really extra based just on talent and just not on how they're lined up scheme-wise, that's when you'll get yourself in a lot of trouble. And so with our guys is you have to be able to have answers against these guys, and you want to be able to answer it very clear so they know it. And so it's like, what happened? Here's what happened. Here's how it's fixed. Got it. So you don't want to go through a game where all of a sudden it's just like, man, there was this, and we didn't get it adjusted on the sideline or those things. So that's why you want to keep things, basic like that, to be able to understand this is going to be our fits. Here's where we're going to be. Let our D-line play. Because, a lot of times right there, and every team, there was always going to be movements and slants and different things right there. But, again, their old line coach is really smart, and they've blocked movements before, too, and they usually block those things pretty well. So you just want to be able to just do what you do with it right now. And I've been, like I said, we always want to be better with what you're doing, but right now our kids are fighting at a very high level on defense. We just got to be able to do a couple things better, Last game we got off the field really well on third down. I think they were 3 of 11, so that helped us give us a chance on some different things. But we just got to do better, across the board to be able to give our offense the ball back. And we didn't get any turnovers last week, so that was a struggle for us.
And we'll leave you with this: the Huskers are a 30-point underdog.
Yikes.
Bill Busch was asked about being a big underdog in a game like this.
Zero difference in any of that. It's just we're just playing a talented football team, and we attack the scheme with what we have to be able to get done and what their accountability is. And right now, our guys they're in the. I mentioned before, our players are up in our office all the time. They're in the hallway. They're around. They're watching film together. They're constantly coming into the room. If we're in a meeting, they'll come in, stick their head in. So they're constantly preparing themselves to play on Saturday. So no different like that. There will be, because that stuff I learned that really, really fast, is like that, some sort of we're not watching Hoosiers or something before the game, like that. We're just going to get 11 guys out there and line up and play defense.
That's all you can really do. You just got to go and play.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that Jeremy on the text line said something about, you shouldn't have to get guys up for this, but it's true. I mean, there are a lot of players that this is a big opportunity, and it's a team game, and you're about the team. But for guys like Trey Palmer, who want to potentially go to the NFL, this is the tape that those scouts are going to turn on. Anthony Grant, these guys that have dreams and hopes of playing at the next level, this is a big-time game that you can make a statement in. And so you shouldn't have to motivate. You should know what's on the line. And then, hey, you're playing with house money, right? Go and do whatever you can. It is funny, though, we were talking about this before we came on air, how it seems like every team, no matter what, gets up to play Nebraska.
Yep.
And Michigan is trying to get style points because they want to be able to be in the college football playoff no matter what. So it's not like they're going to come in and just not be up for this one either.
That is our practice report, which has been presented by Currency. Does your business need quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. And also time to tell you to learn how you can earn up to $250 more per acre when you grow value-added grain by visiting CVACoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. We're back with our pick segment. It's our last show of the week. We're going to make some picks for the weekend games. That's coming up next.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. From the GMC Acadia to the Buick Encore, we're sure to have a vehicle that fits your lifestyle. Our climate-controlled showroom guarantees a comfortable shopping experience every time you visit. Plus, our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Start your car buying journey today, in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you grow non-GMO white corn or non-GMO yellow corn, you can earn up to $250 more per acre. Do the math. Growing CVA value-added grains pays huge dividends. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at CVACoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. the strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, because we're born and raised here too. And we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. Nebraska has the most technically advanced buildings in the Big Ten, according to an annual review of universities across the country. Nebraska has also saved over $85 million over the past 17 years by making long-term investments in clean, reliable energy sources, cutting-edge automation, and collaborations across campus.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
I'm the warmest too. I'm so glad we called SOS before the coldest got here.
I'm always the coldest.
Hey,
this is Dakota Crawford. If your house is the coldest, call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Don't be like me in the winter. Take it from Dakota.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS. Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Wednesday night. It's our last show of the week. We have men's basketball tomorrow night, Omaha, 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock tip-off. And then on Friday, it's a combination of volleyball playing Iowa, be the 300 sellout at the Devaney Center Friday night, and then women's hoops against Houston Christian, who apparently in the last 2 weeks has decided to change their school name.
From Houston Baptist. Yeah.
Didn't know it was that easy to do, but that's at 8 o'clock on Friday night. So because of that, we got to do some picks.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, it doesn't feel like picks night, but I'll roll with it.
You know when we're doing it
the
next
best
week?
ones can adjust and adapt.
You know when we're doing it next week?
Monday. Yeah.
Either that or we just do an online version maybe later in the week. Hey, our Big Ten game predictions are presented by Choices Treatment Center, helping people make positive choices. Let's review Michigan State and Illinois. We were all in concert on this one, and we were all wrong. We all took Illinois. I cannot believe that outcome.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was wild. I did not expect that one at all.
We were split a little bit on Purdue, Iowa. Jessica, you and I and Andrew and Molly all went boiler up. Tim out there with the Hawkeyes. He's on Iowa's bandwagon, and he gets it right. Well done,
Not
Tim.
sure why, but it paid off for him this time.
Ohio State and Northwestern, easy, although it was a little tighter than certainly a lot of people thought. Didn't expect 60-mile-per-hour winds. Buckeyes prevail. We all got that right. We all got we did not all get Wisconsin, Maryland. Molly went Maryland.
Wow.
Wisconsin pretty easily won that game. They're kind of figuring themselves out. So
unfortunately,
Molly went upstream against the rest of it, and it did not pay off. Penn State and Indiana, the Nittany Lions win handily. We all picked Penn State. We all took Michigan. Struggled for a half, but then put away the Scarlet Knights in the second half. So, yay team. We all got that right. We were different on this one. K-State hosting Texas. The only person who went Longhorns was you. Now I guess you're now a Longhorn fan. I don't know.
No, I just, man, you want to talk about a team that's figured it out. I feel like Texas has figured it out a little bit. Spoiler alert for a pick moving forward.
I'm with you. Huge matchup in Georgia. Tennessee and Georgia last week. Jessica, you and I and Molly went with the Dogs. Andrew and Tim went Tennessee.
Yikes.
Look for the upset. Did not happen. So Tennessee gets their first
I mean,
loss.
you want to talk about me being a Texas fan. Tim is a Balls fan.
You are. But that's been pretty good to you all season.
Yes, it has. And I got to say, it was fun watching Georgia. That defense is insanely good.
They could play again in the playoffs. That could happen again one more time. Clemson at Notre Dame. And this one we were split on. Andrew and I, we believed in the Irish, and they bombed Clemson in that game.
I should have thought better than to go with DJ Doodoo, but unfortunately. Ooh. And I've been on I've picked the Irish, and for some reason I didn't roll with them, and I should have.
You know who doesn't like to pick the Irish is our friend
Jeremiah. He hates Notre Dame.
He does not. Yeah, not a fan. Wake Forest at North Carolina State. I cannot get my handle on Wake, and we have again this week. You and I went Wake. So did Andrew. Tim and Molly go NC State. NC State with a nice win. Good for NC State, playing with a backup quarterback the last couple of weeks, and they're finding a way to win. Yeah,
and Wake's just, turn the ball over. That's what happens, right?
Frustrating. Our Army Air Force. Air Force wraps up and wins the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. The only one who did not believe in Air Force was Andrew. He went Army and failed in that one. So for the week, three-way tie at the top. You and I, Tim, all go 7-4. Molly was at 6-5.
And Revenge Tour, what was his total?
5-6.
Yikes!
So after the scoreboard after that week, Jessica's at 92-36. Wow. I have moved to second at 86-42. So you have a 6-game lead on me. Andrew and Molly at 84-44, and Tim's coming up. He's at 83-45. So you're only a game back of Andrew and Molly. Tim.
Making up some ground.
You're making up ground.
Or Andrew's the reverse of starting from the bottom. Now we're here. He's like started from the top. Now we're here.
All right, let's jump into this week's games. Indiana and Ohio State. Anybody?
Nope.
Yeah, it should be easy. I think the Buckeyes, after not playing great last week, really muscled up.
Feel sorry for the Hoosiers. They might get it put on them.
Back in the horseshoe, so I think they'll roll. Purdue at Illinois. Illinois with a real chance to kind of clamp down the division. They stumbled last week at Michigan State. I think Illinois bounces back. I don't like what I've seen from Purdue the last couple of weeks. They've been really sloppy.
I'm with you. I thought Purdue had some things. I thought they looked so good against Nebraska, and boy, they have not looked good since. So I think Illinois bounces back. I'm with you on that one.
Andrew, Molly, also Illinois. Tim?
I'm going with Illinois as well. I think this is a bounce back week.
So all five of us go with the Illini. Rutgers at Michigan State. Sparty, maybe getting involved in that fight motivated them because they looked like a different team on Saturday.
They really did, and I think they put another one together, I think they win again.
I'm with you. I think we're all in agreement on that Sparty does take care of Rutgers, who's really starting to get beat up, banged up, and I'm not sure they win a game from here to the finish line. Maryland at Penn State. The last time these two teams played at Penn State, it was 2020, the COVID year, nobody in the stands. Maryland got a win. They don't this time. I think Penn State wins pretty easily.
God, up to 14, right? 14 in the college football playoff rankings.
A little high.
Yeah, but I think Penn State gets it done.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm going Penn State. They're playing pretty decent brand of football, and I like a lot of the guys watching, similar to Georgia, not to the same extent. They just got some good guys on that team, and yeah, I'm thinking Nittany Lions, and Tagovailoa just does not look healthy.
All 5 of us go with Penn State to win that game. All right, Tim, I'm coming to you. Wisconsin at Iowa on Saturday. This will be a black and blue game. First one to 10 wins this game, maybe? What do you think?
Yes, I think Iowa, they figured out how to get a few points on the board the last couple of wins. I think they keep it going based on that defense shutting down the UW run game. So I'm going with the Hawkeyes again.
I'm with you. I think their defense is a little bit better, and I think they've kind of found a little something that works on offense to the home team. I think they win.
Give me Wisconsin.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yep.
Andrew's with you. So is Molly. So it's a 3-2 split on the Wisconsin-Iowa game. That will be fun. Northwestern and Minnesota don't know the status of Tanner Morgan, who got hurt.
Does
late
it
in the
matter?
first half. Probably not.
Like, look what backup did in the second half. So I don't think it matters.
Your Gophers.
I'm with Minnesota,
right.
Yep.
We all 5 are with Minnesota in that game. Alabama loses at LSU on Saturday night. Now they have to go to Ole Miss, who had a week off. They're ranked 11th in the college football playoff poll. Any chance?
Nope. I think Bama bounces back.
Oh, okay. Tim?
Yeah, Alabama losing 2 in a row would be unheard of, and 3 of their last 4, I just don't see that. And I agree with something you and I were talking about off air, Greg. That spread is pretty disrespectful to Ole Miss, though. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's double digits, I think. I just don't see that happening. I think Bama probably wins, but I think it's pretty close. All right, we go to the American Conference. UCF at Tulane, who right now is the highest-ranked group of 5 teams. Tulane's been magical. Won at K-State earlier in the year. I like the Green Wave to keep rolling along.
Give me UCF. I think they throw the ball too well. I like. I'm going to go with UCF to win this one.
Tim?
I'm going Tulane. I think their defense is pretty legit, and they just, I think, as solid as UCF's offense is. I don't know. In Tulane, the quarterback there for Tulane, Michael Pratt, has been really good at home, and John Rice Plumlee, the QB for Central Florida, has been really struggled on the road this year. So give me Tulane.
It's the guys against the girls. Andrew and I also with Tulane. Molly, is you with you. Jessica, UCF.
All right, ladies.
To the Big 12, the undefeated Horned Frogs in Austin to take on the Longhorns. I've got Texas giving the first loss of the season to TCU.
Hey, I'll just stay on that Texas bandwagon.
Not surprised.
Hook 'em.
Tim?
I'm going
I
TCU.
can't believe I just said that.
I'm going TCU. I got to make up ground.
I didn't say it.
I got to make up ground, so I'm going TCU, and I think they get the big road win.
You're not alone. Andrew has TCU, so does Molly. So Jessica and I go Texas. You 3 go TCU. Wake Forest, here they are again. North Carolina, only 1 loss. They go to Wake. What do you think?
I'm not going with them again. It'll probably come back and haunt me, but I'm going to go with the Heels. Tar Heels.
Tim?
Oh, in honor of producer Andrew's Blue Devils, I can't pick UNC this week. Give me the Demon Deacons. And I just want to see the Sam Hartman train get back on track. He's, like you guys mentioned, he struggled a little bit, but he's played really well against ranked teams this year. So I'm thinking Wake Forest gets the home win.
Again, it's the guys against the girls. Molly is with you, Jessica. Andrew is with Tim and I. So Wake and North Carolina be one to keep an eye on. K-State at Baylor. The Bears, a 3-point favorite.
I'm going with Baylor at home, and they've played well. Got a chance to clinch a Big 12 title here if they keep rolling, or a spot in the Big 12 championship. So I think Baylor keeps it rolling.
I'm with you. The other 3 go K-State to pull an upset on the road. That'll be an interesting one. That's a night game as well on Saturday night. Hey, if you or someone you love have a problem with gambling, call Choices Treatment Center at 402-476-2300 or the Nebraska Gamblers Assistance Program at 1-833-238-6837. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, and you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Holiday wishes really do come true. Through January 4th, 2023, when you enter any non-winning Nebraska lottery, $1 Holiday Wishes 2X, $5 Holiday Wishes 10X, or $10 Holiday Wishes 20X scratch ticket, you have a chance to win $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000. There are 2 drawings for winners, so visit your nearest Nebraska lottery retailer today, buy some tickets, and enter our Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion. Top prize odds vary by game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Time for us to check out our weather report brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling. How will it affect the game? It is going to be Big Ten weather Saturday for the Huskers and the Wolverines. Highs that day in the low 40s. A chance for a little sprinkle in there as well. So it's going to be damp and cold for the Huskers and the Wolverines. So Jessica's got to layer up for that game. Hey, our weather report again brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling with fair prices, honest opinions, and longer warranties. They are the Omaha area's trustworthy company since 1950. And fans, you can win a Huskers football road trip package courtesy of AAA Nebraska. Package includes a couple of tickets to the Black Friday game in Iowa City, gas card, and a hotel accommodation. Enter at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA. You cringed when I gave that weather report.
I did. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
It's here. It's November.
I got to go get some fleece leggings.
Go stop by one of the little convenience stores and get you those little hand warmers.
Hand warmers, yep.
You can just crack it and then put it in your glove and it warms your hands up. But you can also do that on your feet too as well. Folks, buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We have another hour to go. It's our football show. Again, moved up a night because of Husker Hoops tomorrow night. Going to enjoy this one. Joey Connors, the new special teams coordinator, and Mike Cassano, the wide receivers coach, will join us. Jessica's final message, hook 'em. Back in the
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
One of the best Thanksgiving traditions is football. And this year, one of the best ways to celebrate that tradition is to hit the road with the Huskers and AAA. This year's annual Black Friday game will be played in Iowa City, and AAA is giving Huskers fans a chance to win a road trip package, including 2 game tickets, a gas card, and hotel accommodations. Enter now for a chance to win at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Again, that's huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
The Season of Inspiration sales event is happening now at Woodhouse Mazda and Woodhouse Place Mazda. This holiday season, arrive with confidence in a Mazda CUV equipped with standard I-Active all-wheel drive, and each model has an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus award. When you shop Woodhouse, you'll receive the first year of maintenance on us. Visit us in Bellevue, Millard, or online at woodhousemazda.com or woodhouseplacemazda.com.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com. This is the Nebraska Radio Football Show, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel seedsmen place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. And your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Looking to throw. Holds, throws deep down the field, looking for Palmer at the goal line, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Trey Palmer burns the secondary of the Boilermakers. Good snap. Huskers come after him and block the ball. It's picked up by Hartzog. Malcolm racing to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Malcolm Hartzog picks up the ball, blocked by Chris Kolarvik, and Nebraska has a special teams touchdown. Snap back, Casey being rushed, throws pass wide open to Marcus Washington, 40 to the 50 to the 45 to the middle of the field, 40, slammed to the turf at the 35-yard line. Huskers needed a big play, and man, was Marcus Washington wide open on that one for 33 yards. Huskers block the punt. It's deflected. It's bouncing around midfield. It's going to go down inside the 40-yard line and be down to the 39, and it was for the Huskers, Phelan Sanford, who fired through and got a big hand on that ball. Snap. Back to throw. Steps, throws wide open at the 45. Making the catch is Palmer to the 50 to the 45 to the 40. Breaks a tackle to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, down to the 7-yard line. Another big, huge play by Trey Palmer. He's over 200 yards receiving in this game.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Good evening and welcome to our Nebraska Football Radio Show a day earlier this week because we have Husker basketball tomorrow night, so we had to move the show up one day, and it's going to have a fun hour headed your way, folks. Is Joey Connors, who was elevated to the special teams coach when Bill Bush was named defensive coordinator back in late September, is going to talk special teams with us. And then Mike Cassano, who was elevated to wide receivers coach when Mickey Joseph was named the interim head coach. They will both be here to talk about their respective parts and roles on this roster and some of the guys that they've been dealing with and coaching with the last couple of weeks. Should be a lot of fun. Huskers coming off that tough one, the tough second half to Minnesota. Nebraska could not hang on to a 10-0 halftime lead against the Gophers last Saturday. Minnesota prevails here in Lincoln 20-13, and now a real tough test this week for the Big Red as they go to the Big House to take on what right now is number 3 with Michigan in the college football playoff poll, which came out last night. This will be the best team Nebraska is going to play all season long. 2:30 kickoff set for Saturday afternoon for the Huskers and the Wolverines. This will be Nebraska's fourth trip up to Ann Arbor since joining the Big Ten. Nebraska's 1-2 on their trips to Ann Arbor in the past. Huskers a big-time underdog in this game as the spread has now reached 30 points for this one today. Well, each week we like to dig into our College Vault Play of the Week and look back at a great play, a great moment in the unbelievable history of Husker football. We're going to go dial the time machine back to 2008. It was the final game of the regular season against the Colorado Buffaloes. Huskers were down a couple of points late in the game and had a 4th down and long near midfield, and that's when Alex Henry trotted off the sidelines to try a long kick.
Ball right on the end. The snap is down. The kick is up. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good! Makes it in there. 57 yards out of school record to put the Huskers in front, 33-31.
Stadium went wild after that kick by Alex Henry. Still to this day, a school record 57-yard field goal, and it was a lot of fun. And Ndamukong Suh ended up knocking the quarterback Hawkins down. A few plays later, picked it up and ran it into the end zone to make the final score look a little bit more deceiving. But if Henry doesn't make that kick, Nebraska doesn't win that game. Still would have gone to a bowl game that year, but would not have won that game. What a fun time that was. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. All right, when we come back, we'll talk special teams. Joey Connors, Nebraska's special teams coach, will be along. That's coming up next.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
One of the best Thanksgiving traditions is football. And this year, one of the best ways to celebrate that tradition is to hit the road with the Huskers and AAA. This year's annual Black Friday game will be played in Iowa City, and AAA is giving Huskers fans a chance to win a road trip package, including 2 game tickets, a gas card, and hotel accommodations. Enter now for a chance to win at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Again, that's huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Buick GMC. No matter where you're heading or what tasks need tackling, there's a premium and capable GMC truck that's perfect for you. Make a statement on the job site, out on the town, or wherever life leads you in the powerful and distinctive Sierra 1500, or elevate your driving experience in the adventurous and innovative Canyon. Explore our inventory online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com or visit our indoor showroom today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See Shelter agents Natalie Vampola or Michael Reeves in Omaha, or in Plattsmouth, see agent Julie Null.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne. Thank you for your support of Teammates mentoring programs. Because of your generosity, we are able to continue our mission to positively impact the world by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. Please go to www.teammates.org.
This message is sponsored by the NEX Cashback app. Earn 15% cash back on every purchase, every store, every day at Nebraska Crossing in Gretna, the official shopping center of the Huskers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center. It is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. We continue on with our Nebraska football show for the week, and delighted to be joined first by special teams coordinator Joey Connors, elevated to that position a month or so ago. But you've been in Lincoln for a little while, right?
Yeah, I got here last year during fall. 3 days into fall camp last year. So been here for a year and some change.
Yeah, and you know, we'll take you back, everybody back, and kind of give them your background. You played at Central Florida, and so you played for Coach Frost and that staff down there, and had that magical season. That had to be a kick to be a part of that team.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a role, you know, coming in as a redshirt freshman. We went 0-12, and then 2 years with Coach Frost, we ended up going 13-0, and Coach Dawson was my position coach, and so, you know, I've been around these guys before, so it was good getting back up here.
Well, your life has probably been a bit of a whirlwind, I would guess, the last 6 weeks. How have you adapted to it? How has the transition gone for you taking over special teams?
Yeah, it's been going great. You know, I've been under Coach Bush now, and learning under him. He's a great mentor, you know, showing me how to run meetings, showing me how to, you know, draw up stuff against other teams' punt, kickoff return. So Coach Bush has been a great asset for me, learning under him, going back to last spring and before that. And then Coach Joseph, just the support he feeds me, and he builds my confidence, and, you know, always telling me, you know, how well we're doing. And, you know, just both of those guys have done a really good job. And then just other coaches on the way, Coach Dawson, being with him last year, obviously playing for him. And then coaches that I played for, you know, so just those guys are just building confidence in me. After I got the job, I had, you know, coaches that I played for that were texting me, telling me that I would do a great job, and, you know, it's appreciated, because, you know, confidence is a big thing when it comes to football and coaching and playing. You need confidence.
So, Joey, when that switch flipped and they go, okay, you're going to be in charge now of special teams, you had to have a comfort level from the fact that you knew all the guys on the team, right? And you knew the kickers, and you knew the guys that were going to be on coverage units. That had to be at least a little comforting for you, right?
Yeah, it was comforting. You know, one thing I take pride in is I know every single kid on the team. First name, where they're from, first and last name, because, you know, last year when I was a GA, they were my look team, and I had to get guys out there to be a look team. And, you know, my group is, you know, the specialist group, bringing in Brian and Timmy and Brady. They've come in a great job, but I take pride in knowing every single one, you know, 150, 140, how many players out, you know, knowing their first name, knowing their last name. That's something I take pride in, and I was confident, going in.
Talked about your life being a whirlwind. It's also, I hope we don't forget it, it's a whirlwind for the players, too, because their world got shaken pretty much with Coach Frost, and then a change to defensive coordinator. How have they responded? How's their work ethic been over the last month plus?
Oh, amazing. Really amazing. You didn't see any drop off. You know, their effort and their strain is there every single practice, especially when it comes to, you know, the special teams periods. You know, they're out there giving it all every single period, every single drill. I told them, because I went through college, I went through 3 different head coaches in college, and, you know, I was in their shoes 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
So I can relate to them. So I think that helps out a lot. And I told them, you know, right the first meeting I had when I took over, I said, guys, it doesn't matter who's up here. What matters is you guys have each other, and that they trust each other and they believe in each other. And I think, you know, first thing I told them is I trust them and I have confidence in them, and hope they trust and have confidence in me. And the first day, they've been nothing but great.
Our chat with the coach, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman placed products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Again, we're visiting with Joey Connors, Nebraska special teams coach, on our football radio hour. I want to start with the punt blocks. You've had 3 of those this year. That has to really be satisfying. You put so much time and effort into those things, but the energy and the excitement level for a team when that happens, it's just off the charts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome, especially the one against Indiana. You know, first game, Chris going over and blocking it, Malcolm going over, scoop and score. And, you know, all week I was saying Malcolm was going to be the one blocking it, and then, you know, Chris ended up doing it, Malcolm scoring. But it's just a momentum thing, and Coach Joseph says all the time, you know, one of the goals for special teams is make a game-changing play. If it's punt return, if it's kickoff return, if it's kickoff, it doesn't matter. He wants a game-changing play on special teams once a game. So, you know, if it's punt, if it's pinning him inside the 10, that's a big deal in our conference with field position. So I think that's, you know, getting a punt block and then going for a touchdown, that's a huge, huge deal. And just you can feel the excitement on the sideline, and then that carries over to the kickoff, then it carries over to the defense on the field. So it's a huge thing.
The first one of the year, I got kind of emotional because it was Javen who got the block, and he's been so much as a human being. I mean, the blood clots and all the injuries. For him to have that moment had to be pretty cool for you, for all the coaches, the entire team.
Yeah, that was awesome. He's been great for us on special teams, on defense. He's probably one of our best front line guys on kickoff return. Not a lot of people talk about the front line guys on kickoff return, but it's a tough job for linebackers and running backs running full speed at you and then having to block them. He's probably one of our better guys at that. So he's been nothing but great for us on special teams and on defense. But yeah, I was so happy for him after him getting that block, and seeing the excitement of just the guys when he got into the sideline is just awesome to see.
Another guy that we call his name a lot on tackles on some of your teams is Phelan Sanford. He seems to have a bit of a nose for the ball.
Yeah, Phelan's, you know, goes back to last year. He's you know, we call him a core 4 guy where he's on every single special teams. He's a guy that has, you know, elite speed. So we put him out on gunner, on punt. Last year he played tackle on punt. You know, he's played all over on punt return, kickoff return. He's another frontline guy that we have, that we use. So we use him all over. And then kickoff, you know, with his speed getting down there, we've moved him more inside this year, and he's done a really, really good job for us.
A walk-on, which a lot of guys on the team don't even realize he's a walk-on because everybody gets treated the same. Another walk-on is Grant Taggy. It seems like he has an impact on this football team.
Yeah, Taggy's you know, he's an awesome player and a better guy off the field. He comes in, you know, into my office almost every single day, and we just talk. If it's about ball, if it's about life, it doesn't matter. He's just a great guy, and he cares. That's the biggest thing. He's a care factor. You know, our punt return team, he's in charge of it. He's in charge of making all the calls, all the checks.
Wow.
And one thing is that he takes pride in that, and which is huge. When you have a guy like that, I trust Taggy, you know, and it could be over on the sideline for we to draw up a check real quick, and, you know, I trust Taggy to get everybody set. But one thing is he cares and he takes pride in that unit. He knows that's his job. He knows, you know, when we call punt return, on first down, even on second down, he's coming over, hey, coach, what are you thinking? And he picks my brain. What do you want to do? What are we doing here? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? So one thing is he cares and he takes pride in that unit, which goes a long way.
Another walk-on that's a big part of it, Zach Weinmaster. Is he in that same line as Grant?
Yeah, Zach, he's been awesome. He's been really good for us, especially on kickoff. Last year, we threw him in there, you know, I think it was in Michigan. We threw him in there and ended up making a big tackle to stop it. Then he made one against Ohio State, and his name just kept popping up and making plays. And, you know, going back to spring last year when Coach Bush took over as coordinator, we were looking at depth charts. And, you know, from now 2 years ago, Weinmaster was a look team guy. You know, he was 4th or 5th string on kickoff. And now he's, you know, the last year and a half, he's covered every single kick. I think last game he got in on a tackle, and he's been great. You know, kickoff return, he's our off returner to help set up the returns. You know, he's on punt return, he's the edge guy. So, you know, he's been a great guy, and you know, nothing but great things to say about him.
Folks, you can learn how you can earn up to $250 more per acre when you grow value-added grain by visiting cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. It is our Nebraska football show for the week. The Huskers getting ready to go to the Big House to take on Michigan. Visiting with Joey Connors, special teams coordinator for the Huskers here. Let's get into the kickers. And it was a big offseason to go find some guys, and you went to the FCS ranks. Bill Bush has said from time to time it's pretty easy to evaluate kickers because it's the same whether it's NAI, Division II, FCS, FBS, because you got to kick. And you found 2 of them. Let's start with Brian Buschini, who you got here in the spring, went through spring ball. last week, and I had this last night, we talked about this in the show, he averaged 55 yards a punt Saturday against Minnesota.
Yeah, which is huge. He had, he's been struggling a little bit with his ankle, obviously with Oklahoma, and to have a game, I think Illinois, he averaged right around 48, and now this game averaging 55, so he's put 2 great weeks together. And, he's been through a lot, and kicking and some of the wind we deal with, if it's here in our stadium for when we're at Rutgers, it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
And for him to go out and have a 55-yard average last week is just huge. And, he puts the work in. He does like 1,000 drops a day with his wife, which is, that just shows how much it means to him. So he's always working. If it's, over the summer, if it's in the winter, if it's in the spring, he always looks at me. He goes, I get 1,000 drops in. And then, coming in, he wasn't a holder. Never held in his life. And then now he's our starting holder. And so when we told him this summer he'll be the holder, he got over 1,000 holds in every single day. So he could be good at it for Timmy. So that just shows you what type of work ethic that Brian has.
Jessica was telling me the story yesterday on the air about Brian, that she goes, he's so intense on the sideline. He's rooting the defense on. He is the ultimate team player down there on the sidelines. A lot of emotion coming out of Brian.
Yeah, he has a lot of emotion. He's locked into the game the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing, when Coach Bush started before the season with him, is that our guys were going to be locked into the game. They weren't going to be guys that were not locked in the game, and they're seeing, they're cheering for our guys. If it's offense, defense, it does not matter. But, if it's Timmy, if it's Brian, if it's Frankie, if it's Charlie, it doesn't matter. All those guys are locked in the game on the sideline. But he does, Brian's emotional guy at times, but it's a good thing.
Well, and then she said, and Timmy's just like this.
Yeah.
Never, and which maybe you kind of want that, right? Because
100%.
Kickers got to be able to be kind of a ice water in their veins, right? To go out there and hit a big kick, and he's been on fire the last couple weeks.
Yeah, Timmy's been really good the last couple weeks, and I'm happy for him because starting off the season, he got thrown in there, and 2 of the 3 kicks were 46 yards and plus. His first 3 kicks, and Power 5 football, which is a big deal, and going from Furman to playing here at Nebraska is a big difference.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm proud of him. He's bounced back, and went to Purdue, went 3 for 3, went 2 for 2 the other week, and I'm just proud of him how he's come along, and he's a very, you can say whatever you want, but he's in the same way the whole time, and those are sometimes the best kickers. The guy I played with in college, who's now in the NFL, and has been kicking now for 3 or 4 years, exact same way, exact same personality as Timmy.
Yeah, 6 straight for Timmy. I know that makes you feel good. Brendan Frankie has just been really outstanding kicking off. And we made the comment in the broadcast last week that sometimes maybe you don't want to touch back because your cover units have been so good. You've been tackling guys around the 15, 18-yard line until you pick up yards. But it's nice to have a guy with a leg that can just get it out of the back of the end zone, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and that's what Coach Joseph tells Mickey he tells Frankie every single time. Just kick it out of the end zone. And Frankie's been great with that this season. We met before the season, and he told me what his goal was. Last year he was right around the 60% of touchbacks, and he looked at me and he's like, I want to be in the 70% this year. And he's like, next year I want to be at the 80, which is good to see, guys to set goals for himself to go and do. And, it's nice. I know our kickoff team is hungry, so it's a couple times it's okay for him to come up short and those guys go down and cover. And, guys like Ty Hahn have been flying down there and covering, Cooper Jewett, just some other guys have been doing a great job for us in that cover unit.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned those guys as well. Frankie did attempt a field goal in Ireland because it was over 50 yards. You guys are apparently comfortable with him maybe trying some long kicks.
Yeah, Frankie, we'll practice it in the stadium and during the week. But, yeah, Frankie has the ability to hit a 56, 57, and sometimes 58-yard field goal, which is crazy with his leg strength. He is one of the strongest legs that, I've seen. He can go from like a 3-step doing kickoffs and hit a touchback, which, he can grab a punt and hit a 4-6 hang, 50-yard punt out of nowhere. So his leg strength is just ridiculous.
Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. Again, visiting with Joey Connors here on our Nebraska Football Hour. We're also going to hear from Mike Cassano, wide receivers coach, coming up here in just a little bit. Let's talk about long snappers, because you use 2 of them. You use one on PATs and field goals and a different one for punts. How do you decide that? What's the different skill set involved in doing those 2 different kind of snaps?
Yeah, so for our punt, we brought in Brady from Georgetown, and he actually played defensive line too at Georgetown.
Wow.
So he's actually a really athletic guy. And, when it comes to punt, it comes with accuracy and velocity. So with Brady, he's consistently in the 6'8" to 7'1", which is really good snap time for us. And also what is another plus is he's really athletic and he can protect. So that's kind of the reason for why he's been doing punt snaps this whole year, is just with how his athletic ability and his velocity helps us out a lot. And then Piper, he's been doing a great job of the last 2-3 years with field goal. And one thing he does a really good job with is the accuracy. His field goal snaps are really good accuracy, and they talk about it, but laces. Piper usually doesn't give laces, which in the kicking world, if you give laces, it's not good because then the holder has to spin it and everything. Yep.
Right.
And then so for Piper, he does a really good job, has really good control and really good accuracy. And we tell him all the time, major in their majors, and he's major in their punt, he's major, but they back up each other and they both can do either.
You never notice those guys unless there's a bad snap.
100%.
And this year there really hasn't been. I mean, it's just been remarkable how consistent both of those guys have been for you.
Yeah, they've done a great job, and both seniors, and both have done a great job with the guys in the group. Really, Brady doesn't talk a lot, but when he needs to talk, people listen.
Yeah.
But they're just two guys who are really fun to be around. They come into my office all the time and just want to talk, and but they when it's time to work, they'll work. They know it's time to, and I'm probably their hardest critic, and they know it. They have like a low snap, and they know they're going to hear from me, but it's good because they want to be perfect.
Last thing, the kick and punt return games, I've really felt like Tommy Hill is close to busting one for us. I thought he was going to do it at Purdue on one of those kicks. You got to feel like you're close there, and Trey Palmer certainly is a big threat in the punt return game.
Yeah, we've been close a couple times, especially at the kick return phase. Purdue, we had a couple big returns. I think we ended up having 3 or 4 returns past the 30-yard line, which is huge. And he was close to breaking one. And, Tommy is a big play waiting to happen. And that's why we have him back there, because he poses a threat. And, the last couple teams we've played have changed up their, kickoff formation just because they're scared. So I think Tommy has done a great job back there. And obviously with Trey's speed, we see it on offense every single week. Trey poses a threat back there anytime he's back there. If it's punt return, kick return, wide receiver, and it's just they're making one guy miss to breaking it.
And it seems like Oliver's kind of your hands guy.
Yeah, Oliver's a guy did it last year. Some of the best hands on the team, and he makes great decisions. Big thing in special teams is decision making, and one thing he does a really good job is making decisions. So when we think it's going to be a punt close to the goal line or a punt that we just need to be caught, we put Oliver back there. And also Oliver has the ability of making 1 or 2 guys that miss too. But yeah, Oliver, we feel really comfortable back there. If it's a really windy day, put him back there, because at the end of the day, it's either, Coach Bush said all the time, it's either first down or touchdown Nebraska after that unit.
Well, Joey, I appreciate you coming in and talking some football. You're doing a really good job with this group, and keep it going. Let's go shock the world on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Joey Connors with us here on Sports Hunting. Our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned where you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. We're back to talk wide receivers with Coach Cassano. That'll be next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Holiday wishes really do come true. Through January 4th, 2023, when you enter any non-winning Nebraska lottery, $1 Holiday Wishes 2X, $5 Holiday Wishes 10X, or $10 Holiday Wishes 20X scratch ticket, you have a chance to win $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000. There are 2 drawings for winners, so visit your nearest Nebraska lottery retailer today. Buy some tickets and enter our Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you grow non-GMO white corn or non-GMO yellow corn, you can earn up to $250 more per acre. Do the math. Growing CVA value-added grains pays huge dividends. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
I'm the warmest.
I'm the warmest, too. I'm so glad we called SOS before the coldest got here.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford. If your house is the coldest, call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Don't be like me in the winter. Take it from Dakota.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. We continue our Nebraska Football Radio Hour with wide receivers coach Mike Cassano. We were chatting before we started the segment here that you and Mark Whipple's paths have just intersected a handful of times in your coaching career, correct?
Yes, it has. This is the fourth place that we've been together at, and it's really great to be able to get a chance to work with him again here in Nebraska.
So you probably, his terminology, maybe some of the kind of his core concepts you get all that.
Yeah, that's really helped me being able to get into this position, be able to have an in-depth knowledge of the offense and the roots of the offense. Sometimes when you know the genesis of things, obviously the offenses evolve as the years go by, but understanding the genesis of where stuff begins and the root foundation of the plays and the concepts really helps you be able to be a really good teacher with the offense.
So Mickey gets elevated to the interim head coach, so you take over the wide receiver room, but you were working with that group before,
yes.
Correct?
Yes. It was great working with Coach Mick. I learned a lot from Coach Mick, but it was we really hit it off really well because a lot of our core beliefs really mirror each other, and it was really easy. I could just be me and he was him, and he did such a great job of coming in and really trying to change the culture of the room and really bring that energy and passion, which the messaging really hasn't changed. It's just a different voice now going forward, but Mickey did a good job of setting that foundation, and we walked lockstep in establishing that culture in the room, and I'm just trying to carry on what he built and build from there.
He, of course, knew Trey Palmer from
Yes.
his LSU days. You didn't until 8-9 months ago. What's it been like to coach that young man?
Trey's he's a great kid. The thing that's the most impressive, this day and age of me, he's a team guy, team first. He's very, very talented. He's a guy that's not about the spotlight, but he does like being in the spotlight when his number's called. I think that he's a guy that his best football may be in front of him. He was a little bit raw, and when he got here, and he's getting better every week. He's a guy that really works hard in practice, but he's actually really smart. We actually ask him to do 2 different positions, and it allows a lot of flexibility for us to be able to get him the ball in many different ways and put him in a bunch of different spots on the field where it's difficult for teams to be able to find him and track him.
He had that monster game at Purdue, school record. We put a lot of football games around here, and he's got the school record for receiving yards in a game. Since then, it's been a little tougher sledding. How's he handled maybe more of the focus of another team's defense and maybe not putting up big numbers in the last couple games?
The only number he cares about is that we score 1 more point than the opponent, and that's not just coach talk right there. That you can just see it in the interviews and the way he carries himself. He's definitely a team-first guy. He wants to win the games, but all wideouts want to have their numbers. And the thing about our offense that's really good is coverage-driven, and so that's why our guys really, when a route is called, it's coverage-driven, meaning that the guys are all going to be hauling butt, running around the field and straining to get open, and the quarterbacks go through their progressions, and where the ball ends up is based on coverage. So we have answers to a lot of different coverages that they could give us within each pass concept, and that's why our guys really spray the field and play so fast. But his number's been called, and we've been able to get him the ball pretty regularly, and there is a little bit of frustration just because he wants to help the team, not necessarily because of his stat line. So that's a real good thing. He's working on little techniques that may have caused a couple hiccups with some matchup techniques that we've kind of smoothed out a little bit. And but again, I think the thing that's great about him is he's worried more about helping the team than his bottom line.
Oh, that's good to hear. Really good to hear. Our chat with the coach is proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Again, Mike Cassano, Husker wide receivers coach, with us tonight here on our Husker Football Radio Hour. Marcus Washington, coach, is another transfer into the program from Texas, so he had a relationship with Casey Thompson. What about him? What's impressed you about Marcus?
Marcus is a really smart, savvy receiver. You can tell he's played a lot of football. He's a guy that doesn't have quite the top-end speed of Trey Palmer, and not many guys do, but he is just kind of really a slick receiver at the top of the routes is where anybody that knows anything about wide receiver play, that's where you really get open, is the top of your routes. And he's got a unique way of separating at the top on corners, and does a really good job of picking up different concepts and understanding the system. So the transition for him, some things that they used to call apple at Texas, we call orange here at Nebraska. So it was just kind of a language barrier, and he handled that really well. And the transition's been really smooth with him.
Mickey, over the summer, I talked to Mickey about this group, and he kind of termed him as a bit of a bully in a good way, that he's willing to get out there and get after people, and maybe that really helps him in blocking downfield and on the edge.
I would agree with that. This is the healthiest Marcus has been all season, and I really think that you're going to see a different guy this week, and he's had a really good week of practice. I agree with that. On film at Texas, he was really getting after those DBs in the Big 12, and he's got to step his game up in that capacity here. This week is a big challenge for him. They're a physical bunch, and we're really excited about getting up there and taking care of that challenge.
Coach, I'm an amateur at this, so I may be way off, and tell me if I am, but it seems to me like Alante Brown is growing up as a wideout.
He really has. I've been able to be here and see his growth. He came in here, he was a runaround quarterback. I used to tell him he was the master of the broken play at quarterback. They just used to run around and make plays, and he did. He did a great job of making plays, but he's turned himself into a wide receiver, and that's a credit to his hard work, and he does a great job of mastering his craft on the field as far as practice and in the summer, in the off season, in the weight room, getting his body ready to go. But he does a lot of things, what I call the lab. He gets into the film room, and he spends a lot of time studying other players, studying his own tape, and then he's also really working to detail the playbook so he can be ready to go when his number's called.
Oliver Martin's had moments, had a great catch against Indiana for a score earlier in the year. He's had certainly some moments for the team.
Yes, Oliver is a really, really talented kid. He can really run. He's super athletic. Might be, you know, the only guy that maybe be faster than him is probably Trey, but he can really get down the field, and he elevates and catches a lot of contested balls, and he's a guy that really works at his craft and has done a great job this week in practice, so we're expecting a big day. He obviously transferred from Michigan, so this is a little special spot for him, going back up to Ann Arbor, but he's just worried about mastering the game plan and being ready for when his number's called.
You've had an addition to your room in the last month, and that's Tommy Hill. He's made the flip from defense to offense. How's that gone? What do you see from Tommy?
Tommy's a lot of fun to work with. I kind of cut my teeth in South Florida, so working with those Florida boys is not anything new for me. And he's a character, and we've hit it off really well. We spent a lot of hours together, extra, to get him up to speed, and doing my best to help flatten the learning curve for him. He brings speed to the room that you know, we're really excited about. He's a kid that really can stretch the field, but he's a natural catcher of the ball. He's got really strong hands. He's smart. He's picked things up really well. I've been very impressed with how hard he's worked on his own to study the playbook and master the game plans. I think that he's had a real good week so far, and we're looking forward for big things for him in the future.
Coach, I probably get asked about this guy more than maybe anybody else on the team, and it's Omar Manning, and he just has had a hard time staying healthy, maybe keeping himself locked in. Where is Omar right now? I saw him out there a couple plays last week.
Omar's had he had a really good week last week, and got some snaps last week against Minnesota, and those snaps will grow this week against Michigan. He's had a great week of practice, back-to-back weeks, which, as you said, it's just about him being out there, and he's had legitimate injuries and things that have kept him away from football. But we're focusing on what's keeping him on the field right now, and he's had back-to-back weeks we're excited about. He's got a smile on his face. He's playing hard. He brings good energy to the room, and he wants to really do anything he can to help the team win.
Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. This program has such a great, rich history with walk-ons, and you have some of them in your room as well. Brody Belt, I think, is maybe one of the most favorite guys of every coach on the team. What's it been like coaching Brody?
Well, you can put me on that list there. Brody, he's just a baller. He's probably the smartest guy in the room as far as football goes. He was kind of that duck-R. I know you used to use that term back when Coach Frost was here, but that was he can play running back, he can play slot receiver, he can play outside receiver, and he's a guy that he really, quite frankly, he's the one that really helped Trey Palmer in the transition as much as as anybody. Those guys are thick as thieves, and there was a play where Brody went down in preseason camp, and Trey Palmer left his spot and ran over. He was as concerned as anybody, and we all obviously care for Brody and love him to death, but like a son. But Trey and Brody have a real unique relationship, and it's sometimes having a player's perspective on the ins and outs and the nuances of certain route running tips and things that way sometimes really help. Obviously, as coaches, you think your word is end all, but sometimes the little nuances that the players can bring, and because they're going through it and living it live and in color. So those guys have a great relationship, but he's a special talent, and we're looking forward to him getting back.
One final thing for you. I always like to ask about the freshmen, the guys that we're not going to see this year. They're going to redshirt. DeColdis is one of those. Had the injury in camp, so he is going to redshirt. You have a young guy from Atlanta as well. How about the two true freshmen in that room?
Really excited about both those guys. They're going to be big names going forward here. DeColdis, he's more than just a NIL figure. He's really talented on the field. He was really starting to come into his own, and then unfortunately he went down with an injury that cost him a bunch of time this season. But he's handled that really well. He'd never been hurt before. Sometimes adversity makes you grow stronger, and I've really been impressed how he's attacked the rehab. He's really had to work in the weight room, work in the rehab. He's doing a great job of staying up to speed on the football part of things, and I think that you can expect big things from him going forward. And the guy we call Wood is Bonner is doing a great job for us. He's kind of got a frame like Stanley Morgan. I'm not comparing him to Stanley, but just physically, his stature. But he's got really strong hands. He's really smart. Works at the game. He's quiet, but he brings a heavy hammer when he's out there playing. He's done everything that we've asked him to do with limited reps. He's been up with us at times where you get very few mistakes out of him. He does a good job of mastering the playbook and the game plans each week, and that's a tribute to him taking the time and having the maturity to study and know that he's getting limited reps but be available if his number's called. So I'd expect big things out of both those guys.
Fantastic. Good to hear. Coach, appreciate you coming in and talking some football with us.
I appreciate you having me.
You did a nice job with this group, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Mike Cassano, Huskers wide receiver coach, with us here on our Husker Football Radio Hour. Our chat with the coach proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne. Thank you for your support of Teammates mentoring programs. Because of your generosity, we are able to continue our mission to positively impact the world by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. Please go to www.teammates.org.
This message is sponsored by the NEX Cashback app. Earn 15% cash back on every purchase, every store, every day at Nebraska Crossing in Gretna, the official shopping center of the Huskers. More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
both sides. Left side, Laziak rolls, shots it, and there's Kubik with the up. Set to the back row. Kinsey Knuckles. It's in. Kinsey Knuckles with a huge kill. Kinsey wants those swings. She finally got one when it counted, and she made it. Made it pay as the Big Reds up 16-13 here in the fourth.
Hey, Huskers fans, this Friday, Nebraska Volleyball plays host to the Iowa Hawkeyes. John Baylor and Lauren Cook West are live at 5:30 p.m. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
So the Huskers return the first or second half opening kickoff for a touchdown. On Saturday, you could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from any Woodhouse Auto family dealership. Brian Beckwith from Fairbury is this week's lucky contestant. If you'd like to register for one of the last two games, go to huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to get yourself entered. Well, the task will be a big one. Michigan, as we learned last night, up to number 3 in the college football playoff poll, undefeated season. Jim Harbaugh has them playing some terrific football. This will be a big challenge for Nebraska, facing a team that is 5th in the NCAA in scoring, averaging over 42 points per game. There are only one of 4 undefeated teams left in college football. Them, the Buckeyes, the Georgia Bulldogs, and the TCU Horned Frogs are the only ones that are undefeated. And Michigan has really been on fire in the last couple of seasons under Coach Harbaugh in Big Ten games. They have won 21 of their last 23 games in Big Ten play. So they have really found their rhythm under Jim Harbaugh as their coach. They also, like the teams that Nebraska has played the last couple of weeks, really good in time of possession. They keep the ball away from their opponents, much like we saw last week with Minnesota and much like we saw 2 weeks ago from Illinois. A lot of similarities there, but I will say, I think on paper, you look across the board, this is a more talented Michigan team than what Nebraska's played the last couple of weeks. This will be the most talented team Nebraska will face all season long here with this Michigan team on Saturday. A paper-soft schedule in the non-conference for Michigan this year. We've talked quite a bit about that on Sports Highly over the last 6 months with Colorado State, Hawaii, and Connecticut. But they've been tested. Road games at Iowa, Indiana, Rutgers. They did get Penn State at home. They had their in-state rival with Michigan State at home as well. But they will finish the year at Ohio State on the day after the Huskers play Iowa on Black Friday. And that will be to decide who wins the East. And it may decide who gets a playoff bid as well. You're not sure the Big Ten gets 2 of the Final 4 in the college football playoff. Maybe if that game with Ohio State and Michigan is razor tight and the Wolverines and the Buckeyes don't trip up between now and then, you would think the winner of that game would certainly have a spot reserved in the college football playoff come late December. So big game, big challenge for the Huskers on Saturday as they travel to the Big House to take on the Michigan Wolverines. We heard earlier today from Mark Whipple. Casey Thompson was at least at practice today, but I still think a real long shot that Casey's going to be able to play Saturday for the Big Red. Well, I hope you enjoyed this last hour. I did. That was fun to hear from multiple coaches. 2 names you probably haven't heard much of, and that's Joey Connors, who took over special teams, and Mike Cassano, who now is running the wide receiver room. Again, thanks to both of those gentlemen for coming in, spending some time with us here tonight. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. No show tomorrow or Friday. We have Husker basketball tomorrow night as they take on Omaha. Husker volleyball on the air on Friday night as they host the Iowa Hawkeyes. Thanks to Tim for steering the ship for us tonight. We'll talk to you again Saturday from Ann Arbor.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it.
You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first for your next SUV and experience the difference. We offer a full lineup of SUVs so you can find the one that best suits you and your lifestyle. The GMC Terrain and Acadia offer the perfect blend of tech and safety on the road. Or discover the style, comfort, and cargo space of the Buick Enclave. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
And it's going to be just like the old days, but even better, because now it's old school meets new school.
Whoa, did you just dip your pizza in Dorothy Lynch?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. Here, I got extra. Try it with your hot dog.
Oh, wow. Hey, we need another hot dog over here. So as I was saying, it's a whole new game now.
Here we go again.
Rooted in our tradition as a team.
Shake up tradition with the one-of-a-kind flavor that goes with anything, game day or any day.